Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Buggy Reviews. Today's episode, we're going to be covering Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, I'm going to say this, I'm probably in the minority when it comes to this particular show, at least in the circles I travel around, where I'm a little more. I gave the show a lot more leeway. I gave it a lot more of a chance because, for those unaware, this show was going to have an entirely different premise. It got rebooted because Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox basically said, "This is not it, guys. This is looking like total trash, and we're not wanting any part of this." So they had to reboot everything and try to restart, but they could only do so much because they shot so much footage and they had a deadline. And season 1, you could tell, was like a patch job, for what it was. And while a lot of people gave it shit, I was willing to give it a shot because even with the limitations that they had to deal with and overcome, they were clearly trying to make the most out of the situation. And now we have season 2 where we no longer have to worry about such limitations. And even then, the show does have some flaws that do hinder the show in ways. I know that a lot of people definitely hold the Netflix series in high regard, which is very reasonable. And does this show exceed that bar? No. And I think that's just a very difficult bar that I'm not sure it could have made, but that's what people would have wanted. Now, it's still a decent show, obviously. A lot of the characters that you love, the returning cast from the Netflix stuff, like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Daredevil and Kingpin, Karen Page, and Bullseye, and even Punisher to a degree in the first season. They are all great. Whenever you get the returning cast, it's perfect. They are just stellar jobs. The new guys that specifically came around in this show, yeah, you don't really care for them all that much, and you could trim the majority of them out, if not all of them, and you probably would have had a better show in that regard, because their side stories kind of take up nothing. They bring nothing of value, except for maybe one character, but he doesn't really do much, and he's kind of useless at the end. So so all the I guess Born Again side characters were just not that interesting, and you can remove them from the field entirely. Otherwise, the returning characters, they're perfect. I loved, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. They bring their A game as always. They live and eat and breathe these roles. These are perfect for them. They know what to do. They know the assignment. Of course, other characters like Bullseye, played by Wilson Bethel, who does an amazing job at portraying this demented, fucked up guy that thinks he's trying to do the right thing, but obviously his moral code is so fucked up and bewildered, it is astounding. And I love his performance where he can just turn on a dime from just grinning psychopath to pure cold-blooded. It is just stellar work there. Now, a lot of the action, they're pretty good. Pretty good action scenes. Pretty creative, pretty enjoyable. The music, they do rely a lot on using the main theme, the intro song to Daredevil, a lot. Even in those dun dun duns, and depending on your mileage, it might vary on how well that's implemented. I feel like it goes a little excessive, but mileage may vary. Now, the writing is kind of like, eh. Like, some parts are kind of like a little bit iffy to a degree. It really depends on like your perspective, especially how, like, with certain returning Netflix characters, how they're depicted and how they react in certain situations. I know some people had issues because in this show, Kingpin cries, but unlike in Echo, where it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, in this show there was like an actual valid reason for him to do that, and you feel for him in that moment. Also, the ending, which I thought was pretty suitable, and it helps build up a lot of what they're gonna work in for the third season and possibly other spin-offs. That's kind of what it was, like right around the middle to the tail end of the show. A lot of stuff was getting built up, like it seemed like. Not just you're putting the building blocks for what season 3 is going to be, but you're putting building blocks for what I would imagine you're gonna do for the other Netflix characters, because Jessica Jones pops up, and there are other Netflix characters that will appear in, obviously, in like season 3 and any future spin-offs they're planning on doing, because they're definitely building up a lot of stuff. You know, it's not as egregious as, like, say, like Iron Man 2 or Batman vs Superman, where they're just trying to cram in everything and all of it, and it doesn't make sense. They don't overtake the show. Like, they do not overtake the main plot, which is Matt versus Kingpin. You know, and that, like, back and forth between them and how they're trying to take out one another. You know, because that's the plot. Daredevil is trying to get Fisk out as his position as mayor, whilst the city's under, like, lockdown and people are getting rounded up, and it's like an open season on vigilantes and all of that. You know, it's pretty good. You know. Now, would I recommend this show? That would really, I would have to state, if you're going to watch this and you've seen the OG series, obviously, you're gonna have a little bit of a rough time dealing with season 1 because it's pretty messy. But season 2 is a whole lot better, even though there are flaws with it, and that can determine your viewing experience. I will say that it is not as good as the OG series, despite its best efforts. However, I would say it's probably one of the better things that Marvel has put out lately, definitely in comparison with a lot of the other stuff they've done. So I would say you probably would have a decent time with this, maybe, just depending on what you're looking for in the show. And I would definitely say I was pretty okay with it, even though I had flaws that kind of were a bit of annoying to me, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll do in the future with this season and the possible spin-offs that they're going to do. So all around, I'm pretty happy with myself there. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And with all of that, I'm going to leave you to it. See you all in the next video. Goodbye.